Hey everyone, welcome to another foil analysis video. This is episode number 2 in this series. And I wanted to go back to what I feel is the best era of foiling in Magic. I'm actually asked this question a lot. And I always go back to Cold Snap. Because Cold Snap in particular, Cold Snap foils in particular always stuck out to me. But I realized it wasn't just Cold Snap, it was just that era, 2003 to 2006 foiling. Today we're not going to be doing Ice Age block, we're going to be doing Ravnica block, original. And we're going to be taking a look at the foiling here. For me, these were one of the earlier attempts at foiling by Wizards. And I feel this was basically the best. As we go through all these foils, I'm going to explain to you why. So we're going to take a really close look at these foils. Obviously, unfortunately, I couldn't get the most mint condition foils. It's harder to find those going back 20 plus years, but pretty close. And let's take a look at Battering Worm in particular as our first example. Look at that. The art, the main art, obviously there's selective foiling here. The main art pops out way more than any selective foiling art I see today. It's really too bad because we're never going to go back to this ever because of, all the, environmental friendly cardboard and all that Wizards uses now. We will never see foils like this again. And it was just, in my opinion, the perfect balance of foil versus art. It was almost as if they were afraid of hiding the art too much through the foil. So they were very careful to make sure the colors were vibrant, they popped, and the foiling was, consistent throughout. Just the first foil we saw here, that was just a common. And these are uncommons. We're not talking about bomb, mythics, or rares. The foiling was good on all of them. Let's move on to the reds here. So red foiling, and it was consistent throughout the colors as well. Sometimes it gets worse or better for certain colors. Not so. Red is notorious for that. Red tends to hide, the color red tends to hide detail when foiled. But no, here they did a really good job. Far out and then up close. They did a really good job at balancing the art and the foiling. And actually, I am crediting this to the foiling process, but I also have to give some credit to the art direction or the type of art at the time as well. All of the art in this set, but also, from the Cold Snap, Ice Age block, well, in particular Cold Snap, because Cold Snap was printed like 6 years after. Just look at the art. Beautiful art, well-defined lines, nothing too abstract. This is how a lot of us remember Magic art, Magic art in good old days. Although good old days being 2003 is not necessarily good old days for some of you. I'm talking about you alpha, beta players out there. But even look at this one. In today's foiling, I've seen art like this in today's foiling, and it's basically all hidden because there's a lot of fire going everywhere, and it's just kind of like chaotic. But here, no, look. You can see the main character in the art. The foiling is not taking away from the detail in any way. Whatever process they used here, it was fantastic. Let's get on to the blacks. Blacks, I guess that didn't come out right. The black cards. Here we go again. Beautiful. Look at that selective foiling. Look at the detail. I challenge you to find me foiling as good and consistent as this. That not only is it foil and you can enjoy the card, very clearly it's foil. It's not so light that you don't even know if the card is foil or not. We've seen stuff like that before. But the art is also very clear, and it's clear whether it's some random garbage common or some bomb mythic rare. Beautiful. Here, let's take a look at a rare here, a black rare. And you see here, you even have a dark sky, but the foiling is not completely lost on it. And the foiling is not so intense that it detracts from the detail of the art. It's almost as if, I mean, I'm sure it's not the case, but it's almost as if the art direction was, hey, let's make sure our art works well in foil. I swear to you, it almost has to be, because every card I got, every card I looked at, and obviously a lot of it I had to judge based on what I saw on screen, right? Like, I mean, I wouldn't know until I actually got it. Here's a comment. Here's a comment, and look how good the foiling is. And it's almost as if the art is just done in such a way that the foiling looks perfect. Or, alternatively, they just spend a lot more time on doing the foiling right. Beautiful. Really beautiful. Look at that. Beautiful artwork. Well-defined lines. Let's go to white, another notorious color for losing detail, because it's generally bright, and then the foiling is, brighter on top of that. But look at here. Look how well that's done. Wait until we get to the artifacts. Those are the worst usually when it comes to foiling. There it's a massive hit or miss. But here, the background sure is a bit faded because of the foiling, but it's also inconsequential. What you really care about is the foreground, and that sticks out very well. The rest of the card is not overfoiled. It's almost as if they foiled a little bit less. I mean, it's probably not true. Yeah, you can see it's all one. But it's almost as if the text area is not as foiled as the rest. Just beautiful. Let's take a look at another white card here. So yeah, this would be it. This would be the era of foiling that if I had to choose, I would go back to here. That's not to say we haven't had other nice foiling processes over the years. But I would say in terms of consistency, across the board, across all rarities, across all colors, this would be the era that I would choose. And you know what? If it's all comes down to just art direction, then that is the era this would be the era I would choose for art direction as well. Look at this. Beautiful. Beautiful foiling, got purple and blue. Contrasted to black in the background. And it's almost as if the video isn't doing justice to how good this looks. I'm trying to look at that. Beautiful foiling. Very well done. Very well done. They could have botched that easily, and they didn't. Okay, I have a funny story about this one. Okay, I used to play Legacy a decent amount alongside Modern. So Legacy players sometimes are nuts. This is a known thing. I played against a guy. I don't remember what deck he was playing, unfortunately. It didn't play this card. But what he had done is that he had purchased foil grayscaled Garial, whatever, to be the backing of all of his cards. So he would play like transparent sleeves, and he would basically double card every card in his deck. So this would be, the outside facing. So instead of seeing this in a transparent sleeve, you'd be seeing this. Now, it's probably not like GP tournament legal, but for local FNMs and stuff like that, it was perfectly fine. I just found it hilarious because he had like 75 of these that he had tracked down. Foils, which is crazy. And that was his, backing for his sleeves. It was really hilarious. So when I was, hunting for the cards for this video, and I saw that Grayscale Garial was in Ravnica block, or I was reminded that it was, I'm like, okay, well, I gotta choose it. So look at the blue foiling here as well. Detail maintained. Let's take a look at another blue card here. Look at this one. Another one that they could easily have botched. Nope, consistent. This is actually a decent condition foil as well, which is nice. Look at that. Not a lot of cloud or fogging. No, not a lot of scratching. I actually just realized this now when I'm looking it up close on camera. But again, beautiful foiling. And actually the Cold Snap Blue, I don't know if it's even a little more different than this, because the Cold Snap Blues are even more, they pop even more. you'll see that video coming out in December. Look at this one. This one I was really excited to get because it was on a blue card. It was colorful. Look how well that's done. I know this is 10 minutes of me repeating the same thing. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. Beautiful. Beautiful mix of colors, and it just all comes together really well. All right, let's get to the multicolor cards. So interestingly, I couldn't really tell by looking at the non-foil version, but the background here is pretty dark. I don't think it's an effect of the foil. I think that's what the original card is. In which case, this looks really great. Again, if the original non-foil art, the background is dark, then it was essentially made for foiling, because it would be so easy to, make the foreground pop out as it is here. Look at this. Another one I was excited to see. Look at that. Beautiful. Let's take a closer look. Beautiful purple and blue foiling. Beautiful. And just as an effect of the background, it's almost as if there's like one foiling process, another foiling process around, oops, getting blurry, and then another foiling process in the background. Just beautifully done, beautifully. I'm actually enjoying looking at these cards again now, as I actually zoom in. Rakdos Guild Mage. This one's pretty nuts. Of the cards we've seen on this video so far, this is probably the weakest in terms of, it's not even the fault of the foiling, it's just the art, just how it is. It's just a Guild Mage and nothing else. And a split card, because I wanted to include a split card here. Again, looking very good. Beautiful. Alright, almost done here. Let's get to the artifacts. The artifacts look stunning by comparison to what I'm normally, what you're used to in an artifact. A lot of artifacts these days, not all, don't go nuts in the comment section down below, but a lot of artifacts tend to be more bland in color. And that's been true of, artifacts in general throughout Magic's history, but whatever they did in terms of art direction for this set, the artifacts looked fantastic. Even here, not too much color, but it looks great in foil. Look at this. Walking archive. Look at that. Perfect. Beautiful. Well, the condition's not perfect, but it's actually not that bad. Some scratching. But look at how that looks. Beautiful pop out. Foreground, background transition. Beautiful. Alright, the lands, and then we're good. Let me know in the comment section down below what foiling process you enjoyed the most. For sure it's going to be different for everybody, but if I had to argue, if I had to die on a hill, this would be the hill I die on. Interestingly, the foiling here is quite muted. But still works really well. Let's take a look at another. Not too much going on in this artwork, but nevertheless, some nice selective foiling. You're not really losing any detail. And last but not least, Azorius Chancery. Look at that. Beautiful. The rays of light. Just beautiful. Alright, that's it. That's another foil analysis video. I'd love to hear from you down below what you thought. And yeah, stay tuned for more of these, more to come. Thanks for watching.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy my content in general, please subscribe and hit that notification bell down below. Those few clicks go a really long way in helping others find my content and helps my channel grow. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook, share my content on social media. That also helps others find their way to my videos and spreads the word even further. And of course, if you like making money, check out my Patreon page. The link is in the description of this video. In particular, check out the Patreon Rewards program. Basically works like this. You give me your Patreon dollars every month. I buy and open up sealed product on this channel using those dollars. And I send you back that money at the end of every year in the form of rares and mythics. You get one non-bulk rare or mythic for every consecutive month you've been a patron, and every card is worth anywhere between $3 and $15. But I mean, even if you lowball it at an average of $5 per card, you're at the very least getting your money back, but odds are you're getting even more. There are a lot more details on my Patreon page, so check it out. Thanks and have a good one.